Welcome back to the Multi-Passionate Mompreneur Podcast, where we choose to focus our energy, embrace our strengths, and move toward the compelled businesswomen we were meant to be. It's time to free ourselves from the chaos and the constant stream of ideas and build a life of impact and joy that honors our hard stuff, that makes meaning of our losses, and that helps us to make an impact in the world. It's time to finally take our power back and gain the follow-through that we've been desperately needing, while also learning to leave the swirl behind. I'm Angel McElhaney, motherless daughter, self-discovery junkie, and not so master juggler of my crazy crew. And I believe you can have it all. So put down that to-do list, grab that coffee, and let's get to work, one day at a time, together. All right, guys, I feel this urge to say, you've got the power. I don't know, in maybe a He-Man voice or something like that. Or do you guys remember, I have this memory from my childhood. I should have probably went and Googled this to see if it was actually a thing or maybe I dreamt it. But weren't these like really strong people, men that like went and carried refrigerators on their back? Like, I feel like I watched it at church. Was this like a thing? I can't remember. Was it like the Power Men or something like that? Anyway, I just got that image in my head. But today we are talking all about power. And so today we are going to power up your productivity with these Trello tips. And then I'm also going to give you a couple apps that I'm loving right now. So we've so far, just to back up, we've given an overview of Trello. We've also talked about how automation and all of that can really help you to just have things automatically happen so that you can build the consistency that it takes in order to use a workflow. We can make this all pretty, we can make it do all the things, but if you're not going to use it or look at it or build that routine or ritual to actually look at it, then it's pointless. Okay, so at the end of the day, that is our goal. And I want to empower you guys to use this and really customize it to fit your business and to make it to where you would actually use it. For me, that means that I need it on my phone, and that is the top reason why I love Trello. I also think that it gives you that flexibility to have multiple boards. And so I always talk about these juggling balls or like these like tabs I have open in my brain where I have like all of these things going at once. And I think this makes it to where I can have all of these boards going at once to where they can work together and it doesn't feel as overwhelming. So it kind of zeroes in to where I can feel more focused. So here we go. Let's get started. So the first one I want to talk to you guys is a checklist. So every card can actually have a checklist built in. What's really cool is you can name a card, for instance, ideas on what to post or ideas, and you want to maybe have these categories. I know that I do this for my editorial calendar for posting on social media, but you could do this even with your content areas. So you could develop any kind of checklist in your workflow to break a larger task into smaller tasks, and then what it is as you check it off, it's actually going to build a little bar to completion to where it will go green, and who doesn't love that, right? So that's going to be really cool to have it integrated so that you can have that satisfaction of checking something off and knowing how far you are to completion. It breaks it down, and I think that is genius. Another thing is copy and paste. You are actually able to select maybe an old note that you have in your phone or a spreadsheet or maybe even your email list, something that you have like all written down all together. You can select that whole grouping and you can pop it into the space that says add as a card, and it will ask you, do you want me to make one card or do you want me to make 9 individual cards or however many lines it is? So what that does is it makes it to where you can kind of break things up in a one like super quick way. So if you already as it is maybe use your notes feature on your phone to like brain dump, this could help to where you could really quickly get all of those into Trello. So another thing you can do is you can also use your emails and have them turned into cards as well. So that's part of one of the automations that you could use. And then the next one that I have that I've really enjoyed is I make a template. So I've made these checklists on one of the cards, and I don't want to do that for every single card because like I mentioned before, the podcast workflow has a lot of steps. So what I've done is I've made all of the checklist steps, all of the recording steps, all of the outline, the editing, all of the blog, all the things that I do. Then what I do is I saved that card as a card template. Now I can make an automation to where maybe when I add the card over to date assign that it gets these checklists on there, or maybe even as I add or move them from, for instance, record to edit, that it maybe adds the editing checklist that is on the card template. You can do that, guys. Another way you can do it is just leave all of them on to one on that card template, and just copy the card and then rename it. That's an option too. So I love how this makes it super flexible. Another thing that you guys can do is you can customize your covers for each cards for like pictures, which is kind of neat. And so those are the tips that I just wanted to share with you guys as you're getting to know Trello to see how it can work for you. Now on to the extras. Let's talk about the 3 other apps that I'm loving right now. So for some reason, the tech behind this app, I really took forever to get on board with. So Calendly is an app for you to, if you are scheduling coaching calls, or maybe you are even anything where someone is scheduling a time with you and then they can actually pay right there. So they can pay with PayPal, or I'm pretty sure you can integrate other options as well, but it's kind of cool. Like you can set your availability and streamline that process. It sends reminders to them, and it also sends reminders to you, which is super awesome. So that is one that I'm loving right now. Another one that I'm really liking that I actually got from Jacqueline Howard, and she is the host of Optimize Your Life, which is amazing. So check out her show. And the app is AVR Pro. If you are a podcaster and you ever need to record on your phone, one of the drawbacks is that you're going to end up having to convert the file, which you already have to do if you record in Zoom or one of those other places. And but this actually does it for you. So that makes it one less step that you need to have. And so again, it is called AVR Pro. There is a paid version. I believe it was like $6, but super worth it if you ever are maybe out and about and you need to record on the fly. So I've actually done that, and I wonder if you guys can tell which episode I did it for. Hopefully you can't, but if you can, let me know. And then the other one that I'm really enjoying is Loom. So Loom is actually a screen recorder. It's free. You can make it to where there's a little circle that can either see your face or maybe your podcast art or your avatar, whatever it is that you want them to see. And you can screen record to show people what it is that you're doing on your screen. This has been what I've been using for this playlist workflow in the group. So if you guys want to see the video that accompanies each podcast, make sure you head over to Multi-Passionate Mompreneur, as I mentioned before. And if you haven't already done so, I would love it if you would pause and just stop for a second and write me a review. It only takes a second, and I promise you it means the world to me. If you want to go even further, you could screenshot this episode, share it over in your stories, tag a friend if you know that they are a mompreneur. I know that there's this feeling where we feel like we need to hold on to our customers, or, you know, there's this feeling of lack where we need to really like keep things all to ourselves. And I am just challenging you to go against that and to share with each other. We all have different gifts. Think about how many clients you could even have in the world. Like, there's plenty for everyone to go around. And so I just want to really kind of bring that home to where I tell you guys, like, I want you to share your gifts, to empower each other, to share each other, to celebrate, and really just help each other. Because at the end of the day, people need people. And I hope that you guys get that feeling whenever you're in our community. And until next time, I just want to tell you guys that I am rooting for you. I hope that this workflow is working for you so far. Let me know over in the group or shoot me a DM. You can find me at angel.mcilhaney on Instagram, or Angel McIlhaney over on Facebook. I kept it super simple for you, except for the spelling. Check out the show notes for that. And let me know what you're thinking about this format of the playlist workflow series, and if it is helping you to do these action steps. So our action steps for today is for you to try some of the tips that I told you. So are you going to maybe take some of those notes that are in your phone or maybe in Evernote and highlight and pop them into the cards to see? Are you maybe needing somewhere, maybe you're needing more to start with? Let me know, because I am totally not opposed to sharing with you guys my template that I've made. So the template that I use, the workflow that I have, the checklist that I have made on these cards, if you are interested at all in getting those so that you guys can have a starting point, definitely shoot me an email, info@angelmcilhaney.com, and let me know. I really think that if we help each other, we can grow even more. So, all right, wishing you joy and abundance, Angel.